What's up, everyone? And welcome to the 8th day for the 12 days of Yu-Gi-Oh! And today we are doing Genex. Now, Genex was a deck that really surprised me. I didn't think it would get as many views as it did, but it did. It's also a deck that I have so much trouble figuring out because, honestly, my honest opinion, it's a bad deck. Like, I just think all the monsters are bad. But, I was able to make something. So without further ado, let's get right into it. I run 3 Genex Neutron. Neutron during the end phase, when this card is normal summon, you can add 1 machine type monster from your deck to your hand. So it's one of your searchers for the deck, although it waits until the end phase. Sadly, it could have just been one it's normal summon, search a card, and this deck still wouldn't be all too great. Also run the 3 Genex Alley Duradark. Now, Duradark, once returned during your main phase, you can select 1 face-up attack position monster your opponent controls with the same attribute as this card, destroy it. And since Genex Alley Duradark is, well, a dark, that works against so many cards. Sadly, it's not a quick effect, but if you want to get rid of a pesky card during your turn, Duradark can definitely get rid of it. Also run 3 Genex Blast Fan. Blast Fan, when this card is special summon, you can add 1 dark Genex monster from your deck to your hand, so it can search out your Duradark, or one of your 3 Genex Recycled, or one of your 3 Genex Oracle. Recycled and Oracle are both your tuner targets, and Recycled, once per turn, you can select 1 Genex monster in your graveyard. Until the end phase, this card name is treated as that selected monster's name. And Oracle is if a card is added from your main deck to your hand by the effect of a Genex, or if this card is added from your deck to your hand by the effect of a Genex monster, you special summon this card. Now, I also use them mainly because they're level 1 targets, so there is some 1-for-1 synergy. I run the 3 Genex Alley Reliever. Reliever has a really cool effect too. If you negate the activation of a spell, trap card, or effect monster's effect, you special summon this card from your hand. Considering basically the sole purpose of this deck is to bring out Dragoon, at least in this build. And I've basically gotten to where bringing out Dragoon turn 1 is very easy in this deck. So at least, in my opinion, it works better than Vylon. I run 3 Summoner Monk. Summoner Monk, if this card is not summoned, you can change this card to face up defense position. Once per turn, you can discard 1 spell, special summon 1 level 4 monster from your deck, which is basically any of the Genex monsters except Reliever. I also run the Dark Magician and the Red Eyes Black Dragon, obviously for Dragoon plays. Moving on to the spells, since we do run a lot of darks, I run the 3 Allure of Darkness and the 1 Upstart Goblin for my draw power. I also run the 3 Machine Duplication. With a Genex, you mainly just want to get out as many monsters as you can to just go into that many extra deck plays. And if you happen to get a Recycled or Oracle on the field, you just use Machine Duplication to get the other copies out. I also run 3 Iron Call. If you control a machine type monster, target 1 level 4 lower machine monster in your graveyard, special summon that target. But its effects are negated and destroyed during the end phase. That's not really much of a downside because you're just going to immediately use it for a Link summon or an XYZ summon. I also run the regular Monster Reborn. I run 3 Double Summon. There's several times where you're just going to need a double summon just to maybe even just get 2 monsters on the field. I also run the 1-1-for-1 for Recycled and Oracle, and the 1 Red Eyes Fusion. Moving on to the extra deck, I run 1 Genex Alley Triforce. This card's effects depends on the attribute of the non-tuner synchro materials. Earth, this card attacks twice, or if this card attacks, your opponent cannot activate spell trap cards until the end of the damage step. If this card destroys a monster by battle, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the attack of the destroyed monster. And light, once per turn you can select 1 light monster in your graveyard, special summon and face down defense position. Also run the 1 Vindicate or Genex. Your opponent cannot select this card as an attack target, and if this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can add a Genex monster from your deck to your hand. So it's a bit of a searcher. Also run the 1 Locomotion or Genex. If this card is synchro summoned, take control of the face-up monster your opponent controls with the highest level. Although if your opponent just purely has Links or XYZs on the board, it's not going to be too effective, so that's why I only run the 1 of. Honestly, your chances of getting into a high level Genex Synchro monster is just not really too high. I run the 1 Nerlus Assembled Nightingale, the 1 Downer Magician, and the 1 Divine Zeus. Just another really good play. And sometimes sitting on a Zeus just might be the best option. I run the 1 Predaplant Anaconda because obviously I run Dragoon. The 1 Crystron Halki Fibrax. I do run an IP package with Masquerena, Phoenix, Cerberus, and Unicorn. I also run the Axis Code and Apollosa, just really good level or Link 4 monsters, and the 1 Dragoon to round out the extra deck. So let me know, what do you think of Genex? You think it's definitely a deck that really needs some support? Because I honestly think it really needs some support. Which is the same, because I think it's a really fascinating archetype. Well, that's going to be all for this video, and I will see you tomorrow where I will be covering the Fortune Fairies. I'll see you then.